At this point, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker for this evening. He has recently retired after 40 years of service in the United States Army. Most recently, he commanded all U.S. and NATO forces in Afghanistan. As commander of the Joint Special Operations Command, he directed U.S. operations in complex geopolitical regions, including the Indo-Pacific, Africa, Middle East, and South Asia. Please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker for this evening, General Austin Scott Miller.
I'm going to use this one. Okay. Please, everybody, go ahead and be seated. And I recognize that dinner just came out for some of the tables, so I'll try to move through this. I'm going to free gun a little bit. Those of you that know me, I usually try to just figure out, what is the audience, who are we, what do we want to really talk about tonight. First and foremost, Romy and Gabby, I had a chance to go over and visit them a few weeks ago just to try to understand what we were doing here. And Lisette, I'll just echo your comments, and we've already talked about it. One, they're going to be a very hard act to follow, having them come up here and speak before. But those are two persons who are absolutely a force of nature in a lot of ways. And I'll try to explain that a little bit as we go forward. First of all, obviously a very diverse crowd here tonight. I've seen some people that I've known over many, many years, meeting some for the very first time as well. But we have you two to thank for the diversity of this crowd, and I think it's quite important as we think about the Stay in Step mission and what we are trying to do. I will tell you on a more humorous note that I've first time in a tux since my high school prom. I've been in the military, and it was easy to fall back on dress mess. I see at least one of those over there, or the other Army service uniform. So if you see any tags or stuff hanging off here, just quietly and maybe offline, just fix it for me, and I'll adjust as we go forward. I was asked to do this, and I thought, one, what an honor it is to be asked to speak here. And I want you all to know that although I have recently retired about 9 months ago, where I was officially off active duty, I've really turned away from different fundraising causes, not because I don't want to support a cause, but I really wanted to make sure that I was, because there's many good causes out there, that I could find cause where I could really get behind it. As I understood what Romy and Gabby are doing. This is the one. I mean, there's others that are quite important as well, but this one speaks for itself. It really just speaks for itself, and I'll go into that a little bit more on what I'm saying when I talk about something that speaks for itself. I also want to tell you just a little bit about a trip I had. If I kind of look at a week I have had and culminating back here in Tampa, it will resonate, maybe not with the entire crowd, but certainly those of, certainly the military, their families, and let's face it, Tampa's one big extension of support to our military personnel. But I went to, early in the week, I went to New York City last Sunday, 11 September. And I decided in my mind, and actually, Romy, we were talking just a little bit about this while I was at your home. And I said, I don't know how many celebrations anniversaries. And anniversaries we're not talking about weddings or something like that, but days that, are really just hard for us. I don't know how many of those I can do as I look back over the years, but I know I have to do 9/11. September 11, 2001, because of its impact on us as a nation, actually on the world, but certainly on us as a nation. And if we think about where we've been in the last 21 plus years, Our lives and our families' lives, the trajectory has changed because of those events, regardless of where we were in service. Some were just coming into the service. Some of us had been in service for a while. But it would just literally change how we would be. So I went to New York City, and I wanted to hang out with first responders. They had a day like none other on 11 September. They push all the credit to us in the military and to other people. They deflect any kind of credit for themselves, which that in itself just makes me want to be around firefighters, police officers, the entire crew there, and spend a little bit of time at Ground Zero. And I think we all understand that's sacred terrain. It just really is. So I left New York City after spending the day, and it wasn't quite the pretty day that had preceded it. It was actually a little drizzly, but I left there and felt like I'd been in the right place on that day. Then I moved down to a place that almost anybody here who's active duty, and particularly the special ops community, you've been there. Some of you began there, and that was Fort Benning, Georgia. And so then I spent a couple days at Fort Benning, Georgia. And what do you do when you're older? You go over to the jump towers and you take a bunch of pictures of yourself and you look at the 250-foot towers and you remember when. And then you look at the future and you see the future generations coming along, those that will take our place and those that are already taking our place every single year. I culminated yesterday with 2 days at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. There's obviously a lot of Green Berets in this room, but the other services as well. Fort Bragg is a place that many of us have spent quite a few years, and we worked our trade at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. So again, I just kind of was moving around over the course of the week, and then here I am tonight. And I don't know. Does Sunday start the week, or does Saturday end it, or I guess it's however we choose we want to do it. But here I am on a Saturday night, and I'm in the Stay in Step celebration, Stay in Step memory, and I'm very honored to be here. And I thank both of you for that. I'm what I call in transition. And I'll raise my hand and confess a little bit. Transition is hard. And it's hard after spending 40 years, and I'm not unique, by the way, trying to be whatever the nation needs you to be. You do that for 40 years, and you come out, and all of a sudden it's a little bit different. And it may be a first world problem if people reflect on it, but it's different, and it's hard. And all of a sudden you're realizing that you really miss the people. You really miss the purpose of what you woke up for every day. Whether you're overseas or you're in the continental United States. But there's something just not there. It's just missing. And you can tend to feel a little sorry for yourself. And I'll admit, I felt sorry for myself a couple times, and I just shaking my head, not really liking what I'm doing. You find yourself in a room with people you don't necessarily want to be with, and you can feel bad about it. Well, 2.5 weeks ago, when I went over and visited Romy and Gabby, I stepped back from that and says, I don't have a problem, okay? It's and I actually don't even have the right to feel bad. Now, having said that, those of you that know Romy, he made it very clear to me. He goes, hey, we don't get sad in this house. That's not what this house is about. It's not about being sad. It's about hope. It's about inspiration. It's about purpose. And it's, Romy, as you said, Gabby, you said it as well, it's not just you two. It's about what can you do for more people. We have obviously members of our community. We have members of our military community. And, life has hit them pretty hard. Yet, when you can now have hope, inspiration, and purpose, after being hit by life, that's what it's all about. I've not done much fundraising. Hopefully, I've got you at least a couple more donors there. We'll keep seeing if we can't build that a little bit. But this is just it's a great cause. To the sponsors, I actually want to tell you thank you very much as well. You know, I didn't get a chance to meet all of you. I'm sitting over with Carlos. I heard the Bad Monkey mentioned. I know that's Dave Scott, and I saw him from a distance. I saw watched some of the other companies that were recognized, Gary Sinise Foundation as well, which I know holds a special place in your heart. And, if they were here, I just want to tell them thank you. Thank you for doing this. And I'll see what I can do on the backside of this to help out here. You know, the United States of America is a great country. We all know that. It's a country that's a little bit conflicted right now. We all know that as well. I see anger on people that sometimes I scratch my head and don't want them to be angry. I see some people that claim betrayal and in some cases feel like they're a victim of something. And certainly what I would say to my friends is don't do that. And you don't do that because you have the perfect example. Refusing to be the victim. Refusing to be angry. Refusing to say life's not fair. It's that which is what all this means to me. You know, I see what we're able to do here in Tampa. I see what you're doing now. I know the aspirations. I actually admire those aspirations quite a lot and want to see this grow. This is, today it's about persons with spinal cord injuries, brain injury, other physical challenges, maybe cognitive challenges, but you can see where this is going. Romy and his family have a lot of, I know 7th Group is well represented here. I know your team members are here, people that served with you. You have other people that are here. And maybe I'd offer, while they're here and you take it as an honor that they're here, that maybe as I look around this crowd, as I look around a crowd that's looking at you two and hoping to gather some of that hope, some of that inspiration, and some of that purpose. And I can tell you that's why I'm here, always. And that's why we'll be together as we go into the future here. And I'll see what I personally can do to support everything that you're trying to do. Ladies and gentlemen, again, just an absolute honor for me to be here, reconnecting with some old friends that I haven't seen for quite some time. And if I haven't met you, the night we have some time this evening, I hope to meet you. But thank you very much.